United States World Cup soccer team. We're representing. We're about to practice soon. No, we're Mark,
Murphy, Stan,
Rodney
from Sugar Ray, and you're watching Present right here on MTV Brasil. We got a lot of practice to do. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Here, take this.
Somebody hold that. Let's go.
Everyone I know has been so good to me. Hear that? 25 years old. My mother, God rest her soul. I just wanna fly like a bird in the sky up so high. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby.
Olá, boas senhoras e senhores, eu sou o Fábio Massari e vou guiar vocês em mais uma viagem da agência de viagens musicais Music Television brasileira. Estamos em Dallas, no Texas, isso, Dallas, cenário de um dos mais emblemáticos e espetaculares assassinatos da história contemporânea, assassinato do ex-presidente americano John Fitzgerald Kennedy, e também cenário de um seriado de televisão muito interessante, aquele mesmo do J.R. Ewing. Mas a partir de agora, Dallas é o cenário de mais um presente MTV aqui pela Music Television brasileira. A gente vai conhecer hoje um pouquinho mais de perto, em ritmo de bate-papo e desempenho ao vivo, uma das grandes revelações do rock americano para esse final de década. A rapaziada vem lá da Califórnia e vai estar se desempenhando ao vivo a partir de agora. Na sequência tem bate-papo, mas a gente começa o programa com a rapaziada lá em cima do palco. A rapaziada tem de pronome de Sugar Ray.
This here is the second single off Lord. It's about the people of Dallas and how they hit their heads on the roof at a concert like this.
Baby, and when the mood is right, you get it every night. Go on and bring it like you're on the other side.
So you're on tour, what do you make of the tour so far? And you're about to sound check. What do you make of the whole sound checking, interviews, the whole routine of being on the road?
It's all part of it. It's great. You know, they call it a job, but we have fun doing it. And this particular tour has been arenas, which is new for us. So it's been really cool. And it's great, man. It's like rock and roll fantasy come true, you know.
All right, you're not headlining tonight. Does that mean that you're changing your set? Or, I mean, you're playing the
We
set
change
you
our
usually
set
play?
a little bit. We kind of knock it down, maybe 15, 20 minutes. But we're going to go out on a headlining tour soon, so we'll beef up the set again.
All right, so let's go back for in the past or very early days of the band. What's point one in the history of the band? When did the official thing of Sugar Ray?
He's the historian.
Being the historian, it goes like this. We all went to high school together, and we decided to form the band just to play parties for free beer and chicks. And it just sort of escalated from there. Eventually, nothing's changed. We eventually started writing our own tunes, and we started playing clubs and bigger clubs, and it sort of escalated. We got a record deal, and now we're on our second record, and things are going better than ever.
Where are you from? You grew up? That's right.
We're from Newport Beach, California, which is close to Disneyland.
All right. What sort of music did you grow up to? What sort of music fans were you? And growing up in this place, I mean, hardcore was mainly the things that you sort of listened to, sort of the shows you went to see?
Yeah, in Southern California, there was a big punk scene happening there with bands like Black Flag and Circle Jerks and the Vandals and Social Distortion. So that certainly was part of the of our influences. But, you know, we went through trends like hip-hop and the heavy metal trend, you know what I mean? And, you know, we all bought records during those periods and we never threw them away. You know, we still continue to listen to them. So basically, that's why you sort of hear, if you hear a Sugar Ray record, there's so many different styles on it because we are influenced by so many different kinds of bands. I mean, it could be Marvin Gaye or Slayer, you know what I mean? And we're like, we're schizophrenic. Yeah, it's a good mixture. That'd be a good opening tour. But it's sort of like a schizophrenia potpourri of music that we do, and it's just, and we've been fortunate on this record that people have responded to it,
When did you decide to include a DJ? What about the relationship with the DJ? I mean, a couple of years ago, this idea would be sort of crazy in the eyes of the sort of more fanatic hardcore fans. I mean, to sort of bring a DJ in.
Yeah, and just like 2 years ago, the thought of Prodigy being huge in the United States would have been like, oh, you're insane, So it's basically progressing with the times. I mean, hip hop became a major influence in music in the late '80s and early '90s, and naturally, it just sort of seeped into the rock world. People looking for new sounds, looking for new ways to express themselves, and we thought that might be something unique that we could do. And being hip hop fans, we thought it'd be natural to add a DJ. And there was a movie soundtrack called Judgment Night. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. That we heard the Helmet House of Pain track. And
that's the killer one.
Yeah, it changed our lives forever. We're like, wow, man, that was a big influence on this band to get our DJ Homicide in the band in the first place.
He couldn't make it today. He apologizes. Our DJ, he's not feeling well.
What do you make of the Spawn soundtrack? As you mentioned, the Judgment Night. What do you make of Spawn? It was kind of a Judgment Night or late night.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Judgment Night too. I thought it was cool. It didn't work as well as the first one did. Our friends Korn run there. I like their track a lot. But, I like things like that. I like people trying new and different things all the time as opposed to just sort of staying with with the norm. So I think it's important to stay relevant. And I think that's why our band is kind of cool. I mean, if we wanted to make a Prodigy song next time, we can, because we can do whatever we want. I mean, we've done R&B songs. We've done sort of reggae tin song, which Fly is. We've done the harder stuff. So
all of this with a lot of guitar-oriented sounds.
A lot of it's guitar-oriented, heavy riffs, grooves, with DJ environments behind it, like screaming, yelling, singing. The whole thing. I mean, music has a lot to offer. It doesn't need to be one-dimensional, or it can be, and we choose to have sort of multi-dimensional sounds for a whole thing.
Esse é o pessoal do Sugar Ray batendo um papo e desempenhando ao vivo pra gente. Estamos em Dallas, Texas. Essa aqui é a região do agito. A gente vai fazer um respiro. Daqui a pouquinho a gente volta com mais Dallas, mais bate-papo e mais desempenho ao vivo. É o presente MTV trazendo pra você Sugar Ray. Fala, sai voltando o presente MTV também. Voltando, estamos em Dallas, Texas. Texas, terra de um monte de gente boa pros bons sons. Esse cara que tá aí atrás, Stevie Ray Vaughan, que mais que tem? Butthole Surfers, Rocky Erickson, ZZ Top, Janis Joplin, um monte de gente veio daqui, mas a gente tá fazendo outro tipo de conexão, é a conexão Brasil-Califórnia, porque o presente MTV tá trazendo pra vocês, diretamente da Califórnia, uma das grandes revelações do rock americano pra esse final de década. Agora tem mais bate-papo e mais desempenho ao vivo. O presente MTV trazendo pra vocês Sugar Ray. To make the very first album, the first one, you will never forget the first one, Lemonade and Brownies. How do you look at it now from a couple of years distance?
That's perfect.
I'm kind of glad that this is obviously our second record, Floored, and the fact that Fly, the song that kind of blew us up here, it's kind of cool to have a first record so that people can't just go, oh, it's just you guys came out of nowhere and just had a one-hit wonder. We did the first record, we did a lot of touring in Europe, so we set like kind of a groundwork for ourselves to kind of get where we are now. So we feel, maybe we've worked our way to get where we are now. So that's how I feel about that.
But Lemon and Brownies, as I might say, first one was sort of ahead of its time in doing what we're doing. We were sort of setting precedents, and there was I don't recall very many albums, that had like a song, like an R&B song that was just so blatantly R&B, and then a punk song right after it, and both just unapologetic. Just that's the way it was. So I mean, there's a lot of Beastie Boys influence in there too and things like that. So we just sort of added our own flavor.
What about that song? Danzig Needs a Hug. I mean, any particular story for this song? How did it come out?
It was at a point in time in music when it seemed like everybody was just so unhappy to be a rock star or just to be up on stage, and we're all like, this is mierda. You know what I mean? We know what it's like to be working jobs and hearing guys saying how bad it is to tour and the interviews suck, and we were just like, God, these people need a hug, and Danzig needs a hug. His name just sounded the funniest in there.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, you could have said Dave Mustaine needs a hug or Phil Anselmo needs a hug. Danzig sounded the best. Yeah, and he So,
like Murphy was touching on earlier, we have the song "Fly," which has actually catapulted the record into the Latino status.
platinum.
Not Latino.
I think Latino connection, Platino with Latino. It's all right. Yeah.
So, but this record also, it's kind of like Lemonade and Brownies in the fact that it's got a lot of different styles on it. It's not just a rock record. It's got Fly. It's got a bunch of basically Fly and a Gang of Breeze. But there's a lot of different styles on it, and it has given us the opportunity to tour a lot. We've gotten way more exposed on this record with fans, MTV Radio here in the States, and we're doing an interview with MTV Brasil. So obviously, there's interest everywhere because of Floored. So this record's opened way many more doors than Lemonade and Brownies.
World Cup '98 Brazil.
How did you get to Stand and Deliver from Adam and the Ants? I mean, is that a favorite for anybody?
It was the soundtrack to our high school years, like Adam the Ant, Culture Club, Duran Duran, Kajagoogoo, Human League. I go on and on. And it was sort of like in rehearsals, we'd play these songs as a joke to warm up, and Stand and Deliver was one of them. And it worked out pretty well. And it seemed to be the one that we could do the best. And the question is also in the answer, why Stand and Deliver? And it's like, why? Why not? You know what I mean? People want us to do like a funky R&B Parliament or James Brown thing, and we're like, forget it. We'll do Stand and Deliver by Adam and the Ants. Thank you.
That came out great. Yeah. What about the cold metal thing on the Iggy Pop album? Came out brilliant. Was it your choice?
It was. First of all, it was really cool to be on that because Iggy Pop is one of my most hugest influences ever, especially performance-wise. And we knew everybody picked like 1969 and I Want to Be Your Dog, and so us being Sugar Ray and being the lame guys we are, we picked the cheesiest era of. So we did Cold Metal.
Cold metal, that's what it be. Cold metal, from sea to sea. Cold metal.
What about videos? What about the whole MTV thing? You actually enjoy doing them? You actually take part in the whole production thing?
We're actually one of those bands that enjoys doing videos. You know what I mean? We enjoy seeing ourselves on TV. I mean,
We just don't care, but still want to try it. Then try it. 10 seconds down. Remote. Remote control. 10 seconds down. Remote. Remote control.
I remember we couldn't get our videos at MTV, and now they're on MTV, so it's really cool. And we are involved. Our friend McGee directs all the videos. He's done other videos for bands like Korn, Smash Mouth, and bands like that. And so we work with him directly on the conceptualizing the video and then making the video. And I enjoy doing the videos. I think they're a lot of fun. They're stressful, but they're fun.
How does
There's
it feel
anxiety involved in them that you just hope when you're done that you got the shots you want.
Yeah. How does it feel sort of walking the city in the fly ones?
Well, they're lucky I can do that. I'm like one of the guys in the book that can do that. Like I did it that day. Just a couple beers and I'm walking around the ceiling.
Right.
Some hallucinogenics and everybody can walk on the ceiling.
All right. What about RPM is the next one on MTV Brasil. What can we know about this video?
RPM is, if you're looking for 14 more flies on their album or another song like Fly, you're going to be very surprised and shocked. RPM is representative of the hardest stuff we do. It's a song that was inspired by car noises, and so it's sort of an energetic track, and the video is a standard Sugar Ray video with tons of edits and lots of interesting things happening and stuff.
Em ritmo de visões urbano-psicodélicas, a gente vai encerrando o nosso segundo pedaço de presente MTV. Estamos conhecendo aí um pouco mais a banda Sugar Ray. A gente faz agora um rápido respiro e volta para mais bate-papo e mais desempenho ao vivo. Tudo daqui de Dallas, Texas. Daqui a pouquinho tem mais presente com Sugar Ray. Fala, sai voltando, presente MTV também. Voltando, estamos aqui em Dallas, onde acontece o agito noturno aqui de Dallas, no superlativo e espalhadão estado americano do Texas, mas estamos conversando mesmo com a rapaziada que vem lá da Califórnia. Temos agora os momentos finais do nosso bate-papo com o pessoal do Sugar Ray e no finalzinho do programa, para fechar com chave de ouro, essa banda Sugar Ray desempenha ao vivo o seu grande sucesso. Boa viagem com eles, vai ter Fly ao vivo com os nossos convidados Sugar Ray. So, are your plans for the future? You know, American tour. What are your plans? Then you're touring Europe. You're coming back from Europe. Is that right? No.
Our plans are to finish up the tour we're on now. It'll take us up to about Christmas, and we'll take about a week or two off. And mid-January, we're heading over to Europe to play for about 2 weeks. Then we come back and we're going to headline America in February.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
and we're maybe going to be in Brazil.
Maybe South America, but we heard that in January and February it's not a really good time to tour there.
So we'll probably end up going there for management.
This is a good time to be there in Brazil on holidays. You know, sun, summer. You know.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So those are our plans pretty much up until like March, and then maybe get back in the studio and at least start writing songs for a new record.
All right, and I have a personal question for the guitar player. Is it true that you were sort of an actor when you were a kid? Is that right?
Yes, it is.
I had a real short stint at it.
Is it true that you were Chaka?
Yeah.
What I did was
Look at
Yeah.
that. You didn't wear a costume.
I just heard.
everybody teases me. Well,
I mean,
it's really gotten blown out of proportion. I did the pilot, and then my family moved away, so I couldn't finish. So.
yeah. All right, it's just about. All right.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm acting like a guitar player.
All right.
Chaka, chaka.
Did you have Land of the Lost?
Yeah, definitely. Count one in Brazil. Yeah.
He is.
All right. Land of the Lost. That's the name. Elo Perdido. Okay.
Land of the Lost.
Okay then. This guy wants to know about the cover, you know, the lemonade and brownies. What was the connection with sort of?
The connection with that
Yeah.
is the key to the first cover is holding it up with one hand and enjoying it with the other.
All right. Nothing more to say then. All right. Point thing. All right.
Should we show it?
Explain. It's okay. So that's it.
Nicole Eggert. It's Nicole Eggert. She was on Baywatch, which is, you have it there. And we met her in Hollywood when we first moved up there. We asked her to be naked, doggy style, on the cover of the record, and she said yes. So we lucked out, and it was a pretty, tasteful cover. We liked it.
Here's our first record, so we were trying to get noticed, and so many bands were getting signed then, and we actually had like radio program directors saying, you know what, I was going to toss it in the trash and not even listening to it until I saw the cover. So, I mean, any way you can sort of work an angle or a gimmick, it's important.
Some bands put a shoe on the record cover. I'd rather look at a black crow with a crucifix.
It's like, boy, I want to open up this and hear this polish.
That looks much better. As you mentioned, sign. Just let me ask you a question. I mean, by the turn of the decade, we had this sort of explosion of alternative music, all these kind of things. So bands sort of are signed, and then maybe today people like you a lot. You have a lot of exposure, and then tomorrow there's another band. How do you feel about that? I mean, it's
very possible we could be a one-hit wonder. It's very possible we'll never have another hit as big as Fly again, and we all realize that. Today's musical climate is such that, it's constantly changing. There is no sort of like genre of music that's happening, which is cool for us because that means we're still relevant because we can change and adapt. But that certainly can happen. We're just enjoying. You gotta be here in the moment. If you start worrying about that, you're not gonna enjoy when you're up here. Yeah. So we're having the time of our life right now, and we're stopping, smelling, and picking the flowers. Yeah,
All right, that's it then. Thanks very much. Hope to see you down there in Brazil.
Thank you, Brazil. Later.
Thank you.
The song goes out to anybody who's passed in 97. God bless her. This one's called Fly. Spread your love and fly. Come on. Spread your love and fly. Spread your love and fly. All around the world, statues crumble for me. Who knows how long I've loved you? What do you say? Everywhere I go, people stop and they see. Hey girls. Say what? My mother, God rest her soul. Let me hear ya. I just wanna fly.
Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Sing it. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Dance a little stranger. Show me love can make you hostage. Wanna do it again? There's no time to think about the start and all the end. We'll find out, I'm told. My mother, she told me so. Let me hear you. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Come on. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Come on. I just want to spread your love and fly. Spread your love and fly. I just want to spread your love and fly. Spread your love and fly. All over the state of Texas. How's everybody feel? Loved you, yeah. Everyone I know has been so good to me. You hear that? 25 years old. My mother, God bless her soul. Let me hear ya. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Yeah. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. You say it. I just want to spread your love and fly. Spread your love and fly. So I just want to spread your love and fly. Spread your love and fly. We fly. Yeah. I just wanna fly. Giving them almost silence. Summertime, in the wintertime, in the summertime, I just wanna fly. All the way to Texas and back. Good night, everybody. Have a great night.
Tá aí, chegamos ao final de mais um presente MTV aqui na nossa Music Television brasileira, diretamente de Dallas. Batemos um papo e acompanhamos o desempenho ao vivo do pessoal do Sugar Ray. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Viagens como essa só mesmo na nossa Music Television brasileira. Te vejo no Brasil. Logo mais tem mais.
MTV é sua casa. Assista agora MTV no ar.